What's going on, everybody? A Respawn Gentleman here. So you may have already seen some of this information, but I kind of wanted to go over this to give you a little bit of details on this. But basically, there was an interview between PlayStation Lifestyle and Timon with Techland, kind of going over the roadmap and DLC and expansions and all the good stuff coming. So let's get right into it. So the first thing to talk about is the upcoming DLC, and they're saying that basically it's going to be a new story. So you can see right here, Timon actually says, so for starters and for some time, we're not touching the main story. The first DLC will be a new story that runs kind of parallel to the main game. You'll be able to start it as soon as you enter the city. So no matter how progressed you are in the main story, you'll be able to interact with the first DLC. So this one's going to be kind of running alongside the main story, like I said there. So this isn't dealing with anything about the choices you made at the end of the story. This is stuff that happens before the epilogue starts. So another question they asked on here is, will we get new inhibitors in the next DLC? And the response for this, I think, is absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for this, because it says right here, so the high level roadmap wasn't filled with everything we have prepared, and in the next week we will start revealing what we have prepared. The new inhibitors are part of content updates that players will get very, very soon, within the next weeks. So that tells me we're going to be extremely quickly, we're going to be getting new inhibitors as well as more content that they haven't mentioned on their roadmap, and I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to see what that is and share it with all of you as well. So next they talk about New Game Plus and kind of the more information about that. So they did say that yes, it's happening. It's not distant future. It's going to be coming soon. We still don't know exactly when, but they also mentioned that the inhibitors that we're missing will also happen soon. And they also went on to say here, it says that this is something that a lot of the members of the community want. They want New Game Plus, they want photo mode, they want a higher difficulty mode. Those are things that we're actively working on, listening to players and making sure they get what they want. So this is absolutely amazing. I love that Techland is doing this. They've actually done a really good job of listening to the community and making changes according to the things we like, things we don't like, things like that. So this is fantastic, that and confirmation, basically we're getting a New Game Plus mode, we're getting a photo mode, and we're getting a higher difficulty mode. We don't know what those are going to look like at this moment in time, but it's super, super awesome that is something they are actively working on for all of those. So next they talk about other upcoming things. One of the things they mentioned is a Battle Royale mode. Now this one's not going to have it. It says right here that something like that is not planned at this moment. So for the future, I can talk about right now, there is no Battle Royale there. So at the moment, there's not going to be a Battle Royale. If you remember from Dying Light 1, they did have a Battle Royale game called Bad Blood, which I never personally played, so I can't really say if it was good or not, but that existed. Another thing to talk about is new zombies, and says, actually, yes, this is one of the things we've announced on the roadmap, which is, if you've checked out the roadmap, is something that's happening next month, and I'm super excited about it. Basically, it says here that we're thinking about introducing something which we're calling like mutated infected, or like mutations to our infected. So you can expect different variants from our infected, plus some new guys, as well as those will be added to the game over the whole first year. So we're going to be getting a lot more mutations and new infected, new enemies to fight, which I love. I think it's going to be super fantastic to fight these new enemies and, you know, give us kind of more of a challenge, maybe get special rewards for defeating these enemies, all sorts of stuff. We'll find out more about that when it does come out. They also ask about super volatiles. Now they do say about specifics, they're not allowed to say, but they can say is something a lot of people are asking about, and we pride ourselves as being a developer that listens to the community. So that tells me that they're basically going to be doing that at some point. They can't say anything at the moment because, you know, it's probably not going to happen soon. It's probably a little bit further down, but it's something they have planned. But I think that's super awesome. The super volatiles would be crazy, first of all, to fight against, but then also if they have a super volatile mode, which, quick spoiler alert for those who haven't finished through the game, it's basically what Walt and Aiden are, and there's a few times where Aiden turns into super volatile, which is amazing. So hopefully that comes out soon with more information, and we can actually get to play that. It'd be super awesome. Another thing to ask about on here is if there's going to be new cities or if everything's going to still happen within Villador. Now, this doesn't give a ton of details, but it says that what I can say is that you can expect new environments, new types of environments, new shapes of environments that will radically impact the gameplay of the game. So I'm having a feeling that at some point we're still going to get Elysium, because technically it's still within Villador. So, that's not really a new city. It's just a new location to go to. That's probably going to look much different than everything that we've experienced so far. But whatever the new environments and new types of environments and shapes, whatever those happen to end up being, I can't wait for that. I'm super excited. So next thing they talk about is the max player level, which if you've played through the game and reached max level, you're at level 9. And this is what they have to say about it. So it says, yes, what I can say is that if you have maxed the game, we will give you new player progression to develop your character further. Maybe it will not be as expected, and maybe it's not numbered, 10, 11, 12, but there'll definitely be new access for you and new directions for you to grow your character. So I take this as it's going to be very similar to the legend levels from Dying Light 1, which is absolutely fantastic if they add that, because that just kind of took it to a whole new level in Dying Light 1. So if that's what they're thinking about doing, I think that's going to be amazing. And I can't wait to see what kind of additions they have for that. So another thing to talk about is Easter eggs, and they're basically saying that yes, Easter eggs are going to be showing up more in the game, especially with the DLCs, because the main game is finished. So they're going to have more time to work on things like Easter eggs and stuff like that to throw in the game. So we're going to be getting a lot more of those, which is super awesome. They also talk about the Korek charm and like how it's basically one of the only ways to repair your weapon. I love what he said right here. So at some point in the future, not far from now, we'll actually add something to the game that will solve the problem of having to only use the Korek charm to repair your weapons. They also go on to say that this is something that's more interesting than the weapon repair from Dying Light 1. It says again, so the thing I have on my mind is not actually weapon repair, it's something else, but sorry, I cannot really reveal this at this point. So it's something not like it was before in Dying Light 1. Obviously, this was what he just said, but it's going to be something new, something different, and I'm excited to see what it's going to be. So they also talk about the possibility of adding guns into the game, because I'm sure you're aware that, there's the side missions and things like that where they talk about guns, and they have several NPCs talk about like, hey, where'd the guns go and things like that. Kind of brings you questions like, where are the guns? So they kind of designed this. They said that they call the setting the modern Dark Ages. The idea is that it shows humanity and civilization has gone back to medieval times, but it all happens in the modern geography of a modern city. So that's kind of the idea they went with the game. But then when they added this like secret stash stuff in there, it really got people thinking. And one thing they did mention here, it says, so I cannot rule out that at one point the stash will be found. And as I said, we have a 5-year plan of content already. So basically sometime in the next 5 years, this tells me that we will finally get that gun stash and probably have guns in the game, which is going to be absolutely amazing. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Dying Light content, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also check out some of my other videos like the one YouTube recommends right over there. And if you want to help support this channel, you can check out the support links in the description below. Thanks for watching.